There's a version of you out there, richer, stronger, sharper, unstoppable, and every second you waste, he gets further away. You don't need motivation, you need a funeral. Bury the weak you, or die never meeting the man you were meant to become. Every morning you wake up and lie to yourself. You roll over, check your phone, flood your brain with distraction before you even stood up. And then you wonder why you're stuck. You wonder why you're broke, why you're weak, why nothing seems to change. It's because your mindset is poisoned. You've been tricked into believing that you're supposed to feel ready before you act. That's not how winners operate. Winners act regardless of how they feel. The man who waits for motivation will always lose to the man who moves with purpose. The truth is simple. You're not tired, you're uninspired. You're not overwhelmed, you're under-disciplined. And it's not the world holding you back, it's the weakness in your own mind. The voice that tells you to take a break, to skip today, to start next week, that voice is your enemy, and until you learn to kill it, you will always be a prisoner. People love to say, it's too hard. Like the struggle is some unfair punishment, but the pain is the price. You cannot evolve without pressure. You do not grow without resistance. Diamonds are born in fire, not comfort. You know, what you call pressure, I call the proving ground. You think you're being tested? You are. Every single day, life is asking you one question: are you worthy? And every day you answer, not with your words, but with your actions. You either prove yourself or you don't. There's no third option. And if you keep failing the test, don't cry about the results. Don't whine about why you're not living the life you want. You're not unlucky, you're undisciplined. You're not cursed, you're uncommitted. Your results are screaming the truth you're too scared to admit. People look for secrets, shortcuts, magic hacks, as if greatness is hiding behind a YouTube ad. It's not. There is no secret. The formula is as old as time. Wake up early, train hard, work harder, sacrifice comfort, eliminate weakness, repeat forever. That's the recipe. That's the path. And no, it's not sexy, it's not easy, it's not fun, but it's what works. It's what builds monsters. And if you want to be one of the elite, if you want to command respect, build power, and live free, then you better learn to love the grind. The average man fears discomfort. He hides from it. But the man of power, he chases it. He wants the pressure. He wants the pain because he knows that's where his edge is sharpened. Comfort is the enemy. It whispers lies to the mind. It kills ambition in silence. Every soft bed, every skipped workout, every snoozed alarm, it's death by 1,000 tiny cuts. And by the time you realize what you've lost, it's too late. The world doesn't wait for the lazy to catch up. It rewards the obsessed, the relentless, the men who rise before the sun and grind while others dream. But here's what they never tell you. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You're not doomed to stay average. You just haven't committed yet. You haven't made the choice. Because once you decide, truly decide, everything changes. That fire you feel in your chest, that restlessness, that deep gnawing hunger for more, that's not a curse. That's the call. That's the primal voice inside every man who was born to lead, born to conquer, born to lead a legacy. And the moment you stop silencing it with junk food, porn, cheap dopamine, and lazy friends, the moment you start feeding it discipline, focus, and action, you will become dangerous. And that's the goal, to become dangerous. Not in violence, but in presence, in purpose, in the energy you bring when you walk into a room. The man who's truly disciplined doesn't need to raise his voice. People feel his power before he speaks. That's what mindset builds. That's what discipline creates. And it all starts with one moment when you look in the mirror and say, enough. I refuse to live like this another day. Because deep down, you know you were meant for more. You know you weren't born to be average. You weren't built to be weak, broke, and forgotten. You were born to dominate. You were born to rise. You were born to be remembered. But none of that happens unless you're willing to kill the version of yourself that's holding you back. The lazy you, the scared you, the one who lives for comfort. That version of you, let him die, and in his place, build a man who cannot be broken. You don't need permission to change. You don't need luck or signs or perfect timing. You need one thing: ruthlessness with yourself. Ruthless discipline, ruthless honesty, ruthless execution. Because motivation is not a mood, it's a mindset. It's not some momentary spark. It's a decision you make every damn day. And when you lock in, when you truly commit, when you say, I will win or I will die trying, that's when the world starts moving out of your way. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Stop reading and start acting. Because there's no cavalry coming. There's no easy way out. There's only you, your will, and the life you're building, one decision at a time. And if you don't take control now, someone else will, and you'll be forced to watch them live the life you were too scared to fight for. I remember sitting alone in a tiny, cold apartment, no heating, no food in the fridge, no money in the account, just silence. Heavy, unforgiving silence. You don't know how loud your thoughts are until the world around you is dead quiet. I had nothing. No safety net, no one checking in, no applause, no backup plan. It was me versus reality, and reality didn't care if I broke. That's the first real lesson. No one's coming to save you. The world owes you nothing, and it will test you without mercy until you decide you're either going to fold like everyone else or fight until you carve your name into history. That period of my life wasn't a phase, it was a crucifixion. Every day felt like drowning with my eyes open, but I didn't run. I didn't escape into a bottle or blame the system or cry about how life wasn't fair. I made a vow. This pain will either bury me or build me. And I chose the second one, not because it was easier, but because pain, when embraced, becomes power. You only grow when you're stretched, broken, stripped of comfort, and forced to reconstruct yourself from the ash. And once you do, you become someone who cannot be moved by life's storms because you've already walked through fire and smiled. No one sees the years where you're grinding with no results, the nights where you stare at the ceiling wondering if it's all a waste. But that's where champions are built, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, when no one's watching, when no one believes in you, when even you start to doubt yourself, but you still move forward, because deep inside, there's something louder than fear. Hunger. Hunger to become the man you were meant to be. If the dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. And if it doesn't hurt, you're not working hard enough. That mindset, that standard became my foundation. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't born with privilege or connections. What I had was focus, grit, and a refusal to quit. Every time life knocked me down, I got back up more dangerous than before, because each hit taught me something. Each failure sharpened my instincts. Each loss humbled me into evolving. And that's the beauty most men miss. The setback isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to grow. Weak men stay down. Strong men use the fall as leverage to launch even higher. And soon, what used to break you becomes your warm-up. What used to scare you becomes your fuel. People think confidence is some gift you're born with. It's not. It's built. Layer by layer, rep by rep. It's built in the gym when your body says stop and you go one more. It's built in business when the deal falls through and you still make calls. It's built in isolation when no one claps for you, but you clap for yourself and keep building anyway. That's real confidence. It's earned in war, not handed out in peace. And when you've earned it, no one can take it from you because it's not based on approval. It's rooted in your history of doing hard things when it mattered most. There were days I wanted to quit. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. Days where it all felt pointless, where the dream felt miles away. But every time I got to that edge, that breaking point, I'd hear this voice in my head, clear and sharp. Is this how your story ends? And just like that, I'd stand back up. Because even if the world gave me nothing, I still had a choice. And I chose movement. I chose effort. I chose to outwork every excuse. And brick by brick, I built an unshakable life. Not perfect, but powerful. Not easy, but earned. You see, mindset isn't something you switch on for motivation and switch off for comfort. It's a full-time lifestyle. It's a declaration of the universe. No matter what you throw at me, I will not fold. I will adapt, I will grow, and I will win. And when you live that truth daily, not occasionally, your entire energy shifts. People feel it. Doors open, opportunities appear. Because the world moves for men who refuse to be victims of their circumstance. If you're struggling right now, good. Let that pain shape you. Let it become the fuel that turns your name into a legacy. Because the world remembers the men who built empires from nothing. The ones who refused to die quietly. The ones who turned rejection into redirection and scars into strength. You can be that man if you want it bad enough. If you're willing to go through the fire and come out forged. And if no one has told you this today, I will. You are not finished. You are just beginning. Everything you've been through was preparation. All the betrayal, all the failure, all the silence It wasn't punishment. It was training to carry a bigger destiny. And now it's time to cash in. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. The man who waits will always serve the man who acts. So act, move, build, win. Because you're not a victim, you're a weapon. And it's time to be sharpened. You don't realize how little time you have until it's too late. That's the biggest scam life pulls on men. It convinces you that tomorrow is guaranteed, that you've got time to waste, distractions to chase, dopamine to drown in. But one day you wake up and you're 35, broke, weak, addicted to comfort, and nobody respects you, not even yourself. And by then, it's not a nightmare. It's your reality. The clock doesn't care how tired you are. It moves forward whether you move with it or not. Every second you spend doing nothing is a second closer to being forgotten. That should terrify you. Fear isn't your enemy. It's your compass. If something scares you, that's the direction you should run towards, not away from. The gym should scare you. Discipline should intimidate you. Building a business, facing rejection, sacrificing comfort, it should all shake your bones. But here's the truth. Fear is the gatekeeper to greatness. Every man you admire had to walk through fear to earn that admiration. There's no shortcut, no safety net, no hack. Either you confront what paralyzes you or you let it own you forever. Most men choose safety, but safety is slow death, a coffin with the illusion of comfort. The idea that you'll start next week or when you're ready, it's the biggest lie you've ever told yourself, because readiness doesn't exist. If you wait for perfect timing, you'll wait forever. Winners don't need the stars to align. They pull the stars into place with blood and obsession. If you're not moving now, you never will. Waiting is a symptom of weakness. That internal voice telling you to pause is fear disguised as logic. Crush it. Move anyway, because the world doesn't slow down while you sit still, and opportunities don't knock twice. They vanish the second you hesitate. You ever feel that panic, that ache in your chest when you think about how fast life is slipping? That's not anxiety. That's your soul begging you to wake up. It knows you're meant for more, but you're sedated by screens, poisoned by comfort, buried in distractions. You chase dopamine while your destiny rots in the dark. And years from now, you'll scream inside when you realize what you could have been. Hell isn't fire. It's meeting the man you could have become and realizing you're nothing like him. Let that vision haunt you. Let it torture you into action. There's a man out there right now waking up at 5 a.m., training like a savage, studying like a machine, building wealth, mastering discipline. And every day you sleep in, every time you skip the gym, every time you scroll instead of build, he widens the gap. And one day he'll dominate the position you could have had. You'll see him win. You'll see him respected. And deep down, you'll know it should have been you. You chose comfort. You chose softness. The future belongs to the obsessed, not the entertained. And obsession has a cost, sacrifice. You're not paying that cost, you're not in the game. You think it's cool to take it slow? You think you've got time to waste your 20s partying, skipping workouts, ignoring your potential? Fine. But understand this, life is a ruthless accountant. It always collects the debt. One way or another, you will pay for your laziness. If not now, then later. In regret, in missed chances, in a weaker body, a foggy mind, a bank account full of zeros, and a life full of what-ifs. It will sting more than knowing it was your own choices that did this. Discipline is pain now, or regret forever. Choose. Look around. Most men are already lost, walking ghosts, no fire in their eyes, no hunger, just scrolling, coping, settling. They're not living. They're existing, and the system loves that. Weak men are easy to control, easy to tax, to drug, to silence. That's why your rebellion starts with self-mastery. You want to escape the matrix, start by becoming a weapon. Physically, mentally, financially, every time you choose pain over pleasure, discomfort over distraction, you break another link in the chain. Freedom is earned through suffering. Slavery is chosen through comfort. Pick your side. And if you're thinking, but I've already wasted years, good. Use that as fuel. Let the guilt, the shame, the regret become your ignition. That's the edge you need. Because when you truly get sick of your own excuses, when you look in the mirror and hate what you see, that's the moment you flip the switch. And when the switch is flipped, no one can stop you. Not genetics, not your past, not your environment. The man who becomes obsessed with transformation is unstoppable. You can become him if you're ready to die to your old self and be reborn through fire. But the urgency is real. Time is burning. And you are not entitled to another year, another month, not even another day. You either act now or you surrender your entire future to chance. But you weren't built for chance. You were built to conquer, to lead, to win. So stop playing small. Stop thinking survival. Start thinking domination. Comfort will cost you your kingdom. Move now or never. The difference between the men who make history and the men who are forgotten isn't talent, it's obsession. The men who win are the ones who decide they will not live a normal life. They burn the bridges, they delete plan B, they embrace the pain. You think greatness happens by accident? You think men become legends by convenience? No. They suffer for it, they bleed for it, and they smile through the torment because they know what's waiting on the other side. Success doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who are willing to suffer for it longer than everyone else. That's the truth most can't handle. You've been lied to. They told you self-love means taking breaks, being kind to yourself, being patient. No. Real self-love is discipline. It's dragging yourself out of bed when your body screams to stay down. It's rejecting the party, the drinks, the girls, not because you're weak, but because you're building a future that demands everything from you. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. When you live like a savage, when your routine is sharper than your excuses, when your standards are non-negotiable, you start to love the man in the mirror, not because you were told to, but because you've earned it. You cannot be a king if you live like a peasant. You cannot expect loyalty, respect, admiration if you haven't built yourself into someone worthy of it. You want people to follow you? Lead yourself first. Control your urges, master your time, harden your body, sharpen your mind. Every rep, every early morning, every dollar saved, every book studied, they're bricks in the fortress you're building. A man who conquers himself becomes ungovernable. And when you reach that level, no opinion shakes you, no setback breaks you, no rejection defines you. You become dangerous, and the world respects danger. You think the pain of training, of working late, of missing out is unbearable. Wait until you feel the pain of being average. Wait until you taste the regret of wasted years. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of mediocrity is forever. And most men will carry that weight to their grave. You will suffer either way. Choose the suffering that makes you stronger. You have to stop looking for the easy route. The easy path leads to soft bodies, soft minds, and soft lives. The hard path builds steel, and steel men are the only ones who carve their names into this world. Every day you wake up is a war against weakness, against doubt, against comfort. But you don't retreat, you don't hide, you advance, you walk into the storm, because you know that everything you want, power, success, respect, lives inside that pain, and most will never find it because they're too scared to look. But you're different. You don't fear the fire, you become it. The storm doesn't destroy you, it reveals who you really are. And every time you survive it, you emerge harder, sharper, more relentless than ever. Stop looking for motivation in other people. You are the source, you are the engine, you are the one who chooses whether to become a beast or remain a boy. The world owes you nothing. You don't get rewarded for potential, you get rewarded for execution, for sacrifice, for proving every single day that you're not like the rest. Consistency isn't sexy, but it's undefeated. The man who shows up even when he doesn't want to, even when nobody sees him, even when nothing is going right, that man becomes invincible. Because his power isn't borrowed, it's built. If you could see the life waiting for you, the body, the money, the freedom, the respect, you'd destroy every excuse you've ever made. You'd laugh at your doubts. You'd be disgusted by your own procrastination. But you can't see it yet because you haven't suffered enough. That's the brutal truth. Pain is the price of clarity. Only when you're sick of your own mediocrity does your transformation begin. Until then, you'll play small, you'll seek comfort, you'll pretend you're working, while deep down you know you're hiding. But once you flip the switch, once you say, I refuse to live like this anymore, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your presence becomes different. You walk into rooms and people feel it. Not because you're loud, not because you're arrogant, but because you become rare. A man of discipline, a man of vision, a man who doesn't flinch. And in a world of weak men, that makes you a god. You've got one shot at this, one life, one body, one mind, and you're wasting it, chasing approval, chasing pleasure, chasing ease. Let them laugh now. Let them doubt you. Let them mock your grind, because one day they'll watch you rise. They'll watch you dominate. They'll remember every second they doubted you, And you won't even look back. They'll say you changed. No, you became who you were meant to be. This is it. This is the line. You either cross it and become a weapon, or you turn around and die a slave to your comfort. Right now, in this moment, you are at war with yourself. And the truth is brutal. No one's coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not some motivational video, not your future self. It's you, only you. And until you understand that, you will keep circling the drain of mediocrity, hoping life changes while refusing to change yourself. Nothing around you changes until something within you snaps. That snap, that's the moment you say, I'm done living like this. You keep waiting for the perfect day, the right opportunity, the sudden surge of energy, but they never come. That's the trap. You think success is built in moments of hype, but it's forged in silence, in repetition, in blood and sweat when no one's watching. Every second you hesitate, you're digging your grave. Every excuse you give is another brick in your coffin. If you died tomorrow, would you be proud of the man you were today? Think about that. Would you die fulfilled or full of regret? Because that answer, that gut-wrenching truth, is the compass. The man who fears regret more than failure becomes unstoppable. You want to be respected? Earn it. You want to be rich? Bleed for it. You want freedom? Sacrifice for it. There's no magic, no shortcut, no handout that's going to do the work for you. And deep down, you already know that. You're not lazy. You're undisciplined. You're not broken. You're unfocused. You don't lack time. You lack purpose. And until you face that, until you take that version of you that's soft, tired, weak, addicted, distracted, and bury him, you'll never meet the man you were born to be. Transformation isn't becoming someone else. It's killing the version of you that was never enough. There are men out there right now grinding harder than you, training while you scroll, building while you complain, dominating while you procrastinate. You think life is fair? Life doesn't care. It rewards effort. It bows to hunger. It bends for the obsessed. You want to win? Then become a man worthy of victory. You want to lead? Then build yourself into someone who cannot be ignored. If your presence doesn't demand respect, your absence won't be noticed. Respect isn't given. It's seized through action so undeniable that silence becomes impossible. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after the holidays, now. You either rise or you rot. You either suffer for your future or you suffer from your past. You either build a life that forces people to ask, how did he do it? Or you blend into the background as another man who talked big but never moved. The difference between winners and losers is simple. One acts, the other waits. You've waited long enough. You've doubted long enough. You've settled long enough. That weak voice in your head telling you to rest, to take it easy, to be realistic. That voice is the enemy. Kill it. You don't need more motivation. You need a standard. You need a code you refuse to violate no matter how you feel. You need a fire inside you that burns hotter than your excuses, because once you decide that your life is non-negotiable, nothing can stop you. You'll train when you're tired. You'll work when it hurts. You'll push when it's easier to quit. And that's when everything changes. Not because the world gets easier, but because you get strong. Your life bends to the level of pain you're willing to endure without folding. So take the pain, embrace it, grow through it. This isn't about money. It's not even about success. It's about becoming a man of worth, a man of power, a man who commands his life. The body's just a reflection. The wealth is just a byproduct. The cars, the clothes, the lifestyle, they're side effects. The real goal is to become someone who walks into any room and everyone feels it. Not because you said a word, but because your energy is forged from suffering and self-respect. When you build yourself in silence, the world will echo your name. That's the life you're capable of, but only if you fight for it. So here's the truth. No more second chances, no more pity parties, no more blaming the world, your past, your parents, your pain. Use it, fuel it. Let the betrayal, the heartbreak, the failure sharpen your edge. This is your rebirth. From this point forward, your words mean nothing. Your actions are everything. Wake up with rage in your blood. Train like the man you admire. Work like you're already behind. Move like time is hunting you down. Because it is. Every day you waste is another day you could have been better, richer, stronger, wiser. So why are you still waiting? You're not the victim, you're the weapon. but only if you choose to be. Stand up, breathe deep, lock in, and go. The old version of you is dead. Bury him with silence. Burn the excuses, break the chains, and become the man the world never saw coming. You were not born to blend in. You were born to bend the world to your will.
The only shortcut to life is to never miss a day, because sometimes you get lucky, and you'll never miss a lucky day if you try every day. Because when you've come from the absolute bottom to the absolute top, and you've done it all off of your own back, and hard work and dedication, and never missing a day, one, because of compounding interest, and two, if you don't try every day, you might miss your lucky day. And that's what people don't understand. If you never miss a day and you never don't try and you're always on time, was I late today? No, on time, and you try and improve every aspect of your life, and you're a professional, and you try and make sure that you analyze your decisions, you give yourself feedback, you don't make mistakes, you're not lazy. If you try and you make it to the top, because you look at the people down below and you're like, well, why didn't you try? I did. Oh, I did too. No, you didn't. That's a lie. Now you're lying to me, and that annoys me. I believe that they have the lives they deserve because they haven't been prepared to suffer like I've suffered. If I was as lazy and incompetent as these people, I'd be like them. These people, they're not triers. I didn't even have chances that good. I wish I did. I wish I had a billionaire sitting on the internet explaining to me how the world worked. I would have done anything for that. But I never had that chance. I had to work them all out myself, take huge monumental risk, do the nearly impossible to escape. It's easier to get rich now than it's ever been. This goes back into my mentality about the kind of person who takes risks and takes action. So then people will say to me, this is what's so amazing. People say to me, oh, how do you have all these big Addies? How do you have $100 million of cars? You're so lucky. It's not luck. It's never been luck. I've been the person who took action. Now, if I were to tell you right now what action to take, you won't do it. So I'm not going to feel sorry for you when you fail. I'm not going to feel sorry for losers.
I like this just work. But that's boring, right? But that's the truth about it. I'm on my laptop all day, every day. I have 18 hours a day of screen time. I'm either training or I'm working. Do I know some women? Yes, of course. Do I have some fancy cars to drive? Yes. Can I go to the odd restaurant? Yes. But the majority of the time, all I do is work because that's what I enjoy to do. I don't think most things outside of work are as entertaining as the work itself. That's why I'm successful. Yeah, I do have women who I know, and yeah, I can have that crazy lifestyle, and I did it for a while. But I wouldn't even say it's empty. You know, people get successful and they start to say, oh, I'm above that. It's empty, it's vaporous. That's true. I just don't think it's as fun as working. I think just winning is fun. I think the whole point of life is a man's competition in the first place. Life is rented. I know exactly what you're saying, but I'm saying my philosophy is that you never own anything that you're not renting anyway. Your physical health is not something you have, it's something you rent. If you don't look after it, you lose it. Just like a house, if you don't pay the rent, you lose the house. It's the same as your business. If you don't look after your business, you lose the business, you lose your money. The same with women. If you don't look after the women, you lose the women. So do you have to sit there and attribute value to each thing and work out, is this worth the extra seconds in the day to maintain it? But if I'm going to do anything, you're going to optimize it, right? Isn't that life? You go to the fight gym and you spar and you lose and you get better. You attempt to optimize it. You try and make some money. You attempt to optimize it. You attempt to grow the number of followers you have on your YouTube channel. When you go out dating women, you attempt to optimize it to get better at it. If I'm going to speak to people, I'm going to optimize it to be maximally effective. I want to be the person who can say less words than everybody else and have a larger impact. That's what I want to do. I've chosen that. I've decided to do that. I understand that to be able to do that, I also need to have a certain persona and a certain capability. It's hard to do that if I'm not financially successful. It's hard to do that if I'm physically weak. If I walk into a room and I want to bellow and I want to sit and talk in a particular manner, but I'm physically weak and broke, nobody gives a shit. But I have real world accolades. Also, a lot of my real world accolades are based on the fact that I've suffered and I'm prepared to go through difficult scenarios for the things I've said, which once again adds credence to my words.
Does happiness exist to you?
I don't think it's important. I am already happy, and I'm happy all the time. Even when bad things happen, I'm always a happy person. I don't operate in the happy, sad paradigm. So to me, I'm always happy because I don't measure it. If you don't measure something, it doesn't exist. If you give attention to depression, you're depressed. If you give attention to how happy you are, you're always going to be measuring if you're happy or not that day. If you don't think about those things, they don't exist. I don't give measurement to them. Is that the heartbreak part is the best part. Yeah, that's the real love. The whole holding hands, everything's happy, we're out at dinner, smiling, laughing. No, that's boring. The true memory of love, the actual real fun part of the love is the part where you feel the deepest, and you feel the deepest when it goes wrong. And we can apply that to everything. That's the funnest part of life. Funnest part of life. It's never fun at the time. But in retrospect, when you want to use hindsight and analyze your entire life via the lens of your mind, when you go back in time, those bad times are the best times. Because I believe as a man, chasing happiness is probably the most asinine thing you can do. It's the easiest way to lose as a man is to chase happiness. What will make me happy is not how you win as a man. How you win as a man is, I don't care how I feel, what must be done. And really the only thing that's fun in life is work. The only thing that's fun is the thing that made you rich in the first place. That's the reason it made you rich, because you found it fun. There are no fun activities to do once you're rich. The only thing you can really do is slow things down. So a poor person has a 1 hour lunch. I'm allowed a 4 hour lunch. Great. You know, you can add some time to things. But I don't know. I see there are some other rich people who, you know, they get enamored by wine and they think that giving their life to tasting different grapes is somehow not a complete waste of consciousness. But they're dipshits. And that's why they're not important. And that's why no one knows who the f they are. So when I talk to other millionaires, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wine. I like to spend my time wine. Well, then you go do that. Life is just, it's a game. We're living in a simulation. And if you want a high score, you have to choose the highest difficulty. So I want a high score. A lot of these people, especially people who talk about Zen, Stoicism, etc., I distrust. And this isn't specifically about him. This is about all of these people. Because they'll sit in a beautiful field with green grass in Bali. And they'll put on a stupid robe. And they'll sit there and they'll do this. And they'll say, I'm Zen, my mind is great. You're in a beautiful field in Bali. Of course you're Zen. What are you gonna be upset about? It's sunny, it's not even raining. You have nothing to complain about. Go and be Zen in a trench in Ukraine. Then show me your Zen. If you're so Zen and you're so fantastic with your mind, any of these people, I openly challenge you, considering you're all physically incapable, go do an MMA fight and get the shit kicked out of you. Go and you know you're gonna lose because you're a pussy. I know you're gonna lose, you know you're gonna lose, he's gonna hurt you, but you're Zen. Show me the power of your mind. Go get your ass whooped. Oh no, you're scared. You won't do that. You won't go get in the cage and get grounded and pounded. I thought you were Zen. Turns out you're only Zen when everything's fine. That's not Zen. It's not Zen to be Zen when everything's fine. So all these people with their spoiled little privileged lives and their yoga retreats. Oh, I feel so great in my yoga retreat. Oh, you feel so great in one of the most idyllic locations on the planet, eating food that's prepared for you. You feel great. Wow, mental control. For the clown show. It's a clown show. If these people were truly who they want to pretend they are, they'd be in the trenches somewhere. The UFC fighter has more Zen when he's getting punched in the face in front of all these people, in front of his screaming wife, worried about him losing consciousness forever. When he's taking shots to the face and still avoiding them and keeping a clear enough mind to slip the punches. So all these people are full of shit, because if they were truly Zen, they'd live a life similar to mine. But they don't. I ain't lonely. I've never been lonely. I've never been lonely. You don't know me. I've never been lonely. I had no money and I was never lonely. And I don't think it's possible for anybody to stay in a scenario where they're truly uncomfortable. If you fall asleep on your arm and your arm really starts to hurt, even in the deepest sleep, you're gonna wake up and move your arm. If you sit there and your life has been in a rut for 7 years, you are semi-comfortable in that rut. Sure, there's days you're pissed off. Sure, you're semi-annoyed by it. But there's also days where you just play video games, eat pizza, and you're kind of cool with it and it's no big deal. If you were truly unhappy and uncomfortable and discontent with your scenario, you wouldn't be in it. When I was broke, I couldn't sleep. Please understand me. When I was broke, I couldn't sleep. I'd be trying to go to bed thinking, these people have Ferraris. I want a Ferrari. I couldn't sleep. I just understood that there was a version of reality that I had yet to experience. I saw my parents struggle to pay the bills, and I saw my friends struggle to pay the bills, and I saw everyone around me unable to eat, and then I saw certain people with $500,000 cars, and I understood there must be a different version of reality. There must be a version of making money, a version of banking, of finance. There has to be a different world. This world I'm in, everyone's poor. This is garbage. That world, I can see people are living a reality that I can't even fathom. I'm under the mentality that you are exactly not where you deserve to be. That is one version of reality. That's one version of events. And although that's true, I want to put it in a different way. You're exactly where you wish to be in life. Even if you think you are not happy where you are, I can promise you are. Because if you're truly uncomfortable, you can't even sleep. If I put you on spikes, you can't lay down. You only lay down even if you're semi-comfortable. What I often hear from people and see from people is that they get very motivated for short periods of time. They'll be very motivated to change their life for 3 hours, and then they'll just go back to playing video games, and they're actually not unhappy with their life. They're fine to play video games and eat beans on toast and sit around in a small little apartment. They only become unhappy for a few hours now and again. That's when they talk about how motivated they are. That's when they talk about how hard they want to try. But in general, they're actually perfectly fine with their life, meaning they wish to be there. If they wished to be anywhere else, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. And by extension, they would be exactly where they wish to be. I want you to understand at home, whether you're successful or unsuccessful, you wish to be where you are. If you wished to be big, you'd be big. You would train all day, every day. There is no such thing as wanting to be big and wishing to be big truthfully and not being big. If you say to a man, do you want to be bigger? They'll all say yes. But do they really wish for it? Oh, you'll take it for free. Well, you'll take anything for free. You'll take a Toyota Corolla for free, but you won't buy one. Taking something for free is very different than going out there and earning it and paying for it. They're very different things. So you're as big as you wish to be. You're as rich as you wish to be. You live where you wish to live. Because truthfully, when you wish for something with all of your heart, never in history has the universe or God failed to give it to you. Anything you've ever truly wished for in your entire life, you have gotten 100% of the time. So then the logical extension of this mindset is you have to analyze and decide, one, why you wish to be where you currently are. Why? And two, if you want to change that, where you actually genuinely wish to be. Because you have to make sure you really want it. Everyone will say they want to be have $100 million. Everyone will say it, but it's not true. And if you don't wish for it, you're never going to get it. And in fact, you won't even elevate from your current position unless you're more realistic with your wish and say, I don't want 100 million, I just want 1 million. That's my advice.
You're not tired, you're just undisciplined, you're not unlucky, you're just wasting time, and deep down you know it. Every scroll, every snooze button, every wasted hour is another nail in the coffin of the man you were supposed to become. While you're sitting there, paralyzed, distracted, your future is bleeding out, and no one's coming to save you. This is your intervention. You're not behind because of where you were born, you're behind because of how you use your hours. Most people don't need more motivation, more books, or another inspirational video. They need to stop wasting the minutes between their dreams and their discipline. You're broke, you're distracted, and you're stuck not because life is unfair, but because you've treated time like it's some infinite, generous friend that'll wait while you procrastinate. Bolt. Time is cold, ruthless, and non-refundable. You'll never get a refund on a wasted hour. And that's what makes it the most valuable thing you own. People fear losing money. They fear being cheated out of $100, 0 cents. But they give away days, weeks, even years like they're disposable. And then they cry when the future shows up and slaps them with the results of their own apathy. You want a better life? Get serious about how you spend your mornings. The man who owns his first hour owns his whole day. The man who owns his day owns his future. You cannot afford to see how the day goes. That mindset is a guaranteed ticket to mediocrity. You have to wake up like there's a war outside, like the world's trying to make you average, and every minute you don't fight back, it's winning. The only difference between the winners and the watchers is that the winners took time seriously before they had success. It wasn't after they got rich that they became disciplined. It was their discipline with time that made them rich in the first place. You think you're tired. You think you're demotivated. No, you're disorganized. You've got no plan, no urgency, no structure. You wake up at random, you scroll until your brain is mush, you chase dopamine all day long, and then wonder why nothing in your life is moving forward. Let me be brutally honest. Your schedule is a reflection of your self-respect. If you respect yourself, you guard your time like your life depends on it. You wouldn't let strangers rob your house, but you let distractions rob your minutes. You wouldn't hand over your car keys to someone careless, but you hand over your daily hours to things that give you nothing in return. Your future is being built or destroyed by how you use your next hour. That's the truth most men ignore until it's too late. You want hope? Here it is. You are not trapped. You're just untrained. You've been lied to. You've been told success is luck or privilege or some hidden secret. It's not. It's math. It's reps. It's what you do from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. that builds the life you're begging for. And the best part, you control it. You can fix it. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to win the next hour. Then the next. Stack those wins. Stack those hours. Time compounds faster than money ever will. You don't need more motivation. You need structure. You need to look in the mirror and say, every hour I waste, my dream gets further away. Because that's the truth, and the truth, when accepted, becomes your weapon. There's a reason the world is run by the ruthless. It's not because they're the most talented, it's because they waste nothing. Not time, not energy, not chances. Every second is a soldier, every hour is a war. And they win because they attack time like it owes them something. You want to change your life? Master your time. Stop negotiating with laziness. Stop debating with your comfort. Every time you hesitate, you give weakness room to grow. Every time you delay, you invite mediocrity into your future, and then you act surprised when success doesn't show up. It didn't ignore you, you ignored your time. But here's what no one tells you. Every man has a comeback moment. One defining day where he stops lying to himself and starts acting like his time is valuable. That day can be today. You don't need a Monday. You don't need a new month. You need a mirror and the courage to say, from this moment forward, I run my hours. They don't run me. You want to feel proud of yourself? Earn it. Track your time like it's gold. Wake up with purpose, move with urgency, build something. The dopamine you get from scrolling is weak compared to the power you feel when you're locked in, focused, disciplined, and unstoppable. If you don't change now, then when? Next year? After another setback? After your dream dies in front of you? No, the time is now, not tomorrow, not later, right now. This is your hour. Own it, guard it, dominate it. Because every second you waste is a second you'll wish you had back when the game is over. There was a point in my life where everything was chaos. Not chaos in the world, chaos in my mind. I'd wake up whenever my body felt like it. No structure, no urgency. I didn't know what day it was, let alone what I was supposed to do with it. I'd lie to myself saying I was figuring things out, when in reality I was just killing time, one lazy hour at a time. And I remember this one morning vividly. I looked at the ceiling above my bed, a cheap apartment ceiling with cracks and stains, and I felt something I couldn't shake. A deep, choking regret for time I couldn't get back. Not money, not relationships, time. And that was the first moment I realized I was poor, not because of what was in my wallet, but because of what I allowed on my calendar. People think I became successful because of some secret. There's no secret. There was just a single decision, a turning point, where I looked at time not as something to spend, but as something to invest. Every minute I waste is a minute someone else is using to beat me, I told myself. That sentence haunted me. I imagined other men out there waking up earlier, working harder, planning better, saying no to comfort while I was saying yes to laziness. That's when I knew the competition wasn't just against the world, it was against every past version of myself who wasted time thinking he had more of it, and the truth, I lost years. Not because I wasn't smart, not because I wasn't capable, but because I didn't treat my time like it was sacred, I treated it like it was air. Always available, always around, never running out. That was the lie. There was a man I once met, billionaire, quiet, powerful, moved like a shadow through the room. I asked him what made him different. He didn't even blink when he answered. I schedule my life like a surgeon schedules surgery. My hours are not suggestions, they are law. That hit me like a freight train, because deep down I knew I was casual with time. I let emotions dictate what I do. I let comfort sneak into my routines. But this man, he wasn't rich because he was smarter. He was rich because he was militant with minutes. His success wasn't explosive, it was engineered. Every task, every call, every meeting, every training session, it was all carved into a clock with purpose. And once I understood that, I rewired myself. No more guessing, no more waiting for motivation. I ran my days like a general runs a battlefield. Ruthless, unapologetic, sharp. I stopped chasing the weekend. I stopped living for vacations. I became obsessed with what I could build before 8 a.m. I realized the world is designed to distract you. The notifications, the apps, the entertainment, it's all there to steal your focus, and if it can steal your focus, it can steal your life. So I went ghost. I cut the noise. I started managing time like it was gold dust in my hand, slipping through no matter how tight I gripped it. And as I did that, life began to change. Not because the universe bent to my will, but because I bent my time toward my mission. One day, the bank account changed, then the cause, then the respect. But none of that came before I learned this brutal truth. Success is nothing more than consistent hours of effort aimed at the right target. And let me tell you something people won't say out loud. If you don't master your time, someone else will. Your boss, your bills, your excuses, they'll all own you, because time doesn't care who wastes it, it just moves on. The most dangerous thing about time is how silently it leaves. 1 minute you're 21 thinking you got forever, the next you're 35 wondering where the hell the decade went. That's why I tell every man, wake up early, train hard, schedule everything, and guard your hours like they're diamonds in your pocket. Because if you lose money, you can make more. But if you lose time, that's blood you don't get back. I look back at that version of me, the one who woke up at noon, who hit snooze 5 times, who thought tomorrow was a valid strategy, and I feel 2 things. Rage and gratitude. Rage because he almost killed my future. Gratitude because I buried him. That man no longer exists. I killed him with a calendar and a clock. I became lethal with my hours. I became a weapon of productivity. And now, I own every second. I don't beg for opportunities. They come because time respects me now, because I respected it first. You ever sit down for 5 minutes and realize you've just wasted 5 years? That's how time hits you when it's gone. Quiet, subtle, and then one day it screams. It doesn't tap you on the shoulder, it punches you in the face and says, you could have been a millionaire by now. And you know it's right. That's the pain no one wants to talk about. Not the pain of failure, but the agony of wasted potential. Because failure at least means you tried. But wasting time, that means you didn't even show up. That's the regret you carry forever. Not the things you did, but the hours you gave away to nothing. You ever wonder why you feel anxious, why you scroll for hours and still feel behind? It's because your brain knows the truth. It knows you're supposed to be doing more. It knows the gap between who you are and who you could be is growing. And every time you choose distraction over discipline, that gap becomes a canyon. And eventually you stand at the edge, looking across at the man you were meant to become. And you realize it's too far to reach now because you didn't run. You waited. You sat around thinking life would come find you. Let me tell you something brutal. Life doesn't reward the passive. It devours them. There's a war happening every day, and it's not fought with guns, it's fought with minutes. Every scroll, every snooze button, every wasted hour is a bullet to your own progress. And the scariest part, you're the one pulling the trigger. No one's stealing your time. You're giving it away like it's worthless. I'll start tomorrow. You've said that for years. You've made peace with procrastination. You befriended laziness. You've let comfort blindfold you and walk you off the cliff of mediocrity. And while you sit there pretending things will get better when the time is right, real killers are grinding. They don't wait for the perfect time. They build time into a weapon. You know what's terrifying? The idea that someone with half your talent is winning simply because they respect time more than you do. They didn't need to be smarter. They just woke up earlier. They just stopped making excuses. They just said, enough. That's what separates the powerful from the pitiful. Not intellect, not opportunity, just pure, calculated time usage. If you mastered that, you'd be unstoppable. But you're here, stuck in the loop. Because the clock doesn't pause when you feel tired. It doesn't freeze when you're unsure. Time moves whether you move or not. And if you don't chase purpose with urgency, you'll be left behind by people who do. Think about this. Every minute you spend watching others live is a minute you could have spent building your own empire. That's not motivation, that's mathematics. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. What are you doing with them? Sleeping 10 hours, arguing online, waiting for a sign? Time doesn't care about your feelings, it rewards execution. And if you're not using it, you're losing it. The man who understands time doesn't chase women, clout, or trends. He chases progress. Because he knows when you respect time, everything else chases you. The worst part, most people will never change, not because they can't, but because they're addicted to wasting time. It's a habit, a disease of delay, and they defend it with pride. I'm just relaxing, they say, as if they've earned it. Earned what? Comfort without conquest? You don't get to rest when you built nothing. You don't get to scroll when you haven't earned a scroll. That's why you feel empty afterward. Because your soul knows you traded potential for pleasure. And it's screaming at you every night while you lie there wondering why you're not fulfilled. That's not depression. That's your potential grieving. Let me give you something to tattoo on your soul. Discipline with time creates freedom. Indulgence with time creates slavery. Most people are prisoners not of chains, but of their calendars. They've scheduled failure into their day by choosing ease over evolution. But not you. Not if you decide now. Because it's not too late. Not yet. Time is brutal, but it's also merciful. If you act now. If you take control. If you become the type of man who looks at a clock and sees possibility, not pressure, that's when you win. That's when you dominate, when every minute bends to your will, not because time changed, but because you did. You want to be dangerous? Be the man who never wastes a second. Be the man who wakes up with a mission. Be the man who builds days like blueprints for legacy. That's not just success, that's power. That's how you crush the weak, the lazy, the distracted, because they're too busy wasting time and you're out here turning every hour into war. You become untouchable, not because of what you have, but because of how you use what they take for granted. Time. You are not unlucky. You are not cursed. You're just undisciplined with time. That's the raw truth no one wants to say to your face. It's not that the world is against you. It's that you haven't made time your ally. You haven't built your days like a fortress. You haven't weaponized your hours. You've been walking through life like time owes you something, when in reality you owe time your life. Every second you breathe is a loan, and one day it gets collected. That's the game. That's the pressure. But also, that's the power. Because the man who realizes that doesn't panic. He rises. He doesn't complain. He constructs. Every second becomes a brick in the empire he's building. No delay, no hesitation, just ruthless movement. Because he knows every second that ticks is either helping him or haunting him. You don't need more money, more motivation, or more followers. You need more control over your time. You don't need to win the lottery. You need to win the morning. People out here acting like they're stuck, but they've got 24 hours like everyone else. You don't see the chains around your wrists because they're made of distractions, not iron. You think you're free while you scroll your future into the trash. You think you're relaxed when you're actually rotting slowly in comfort. I'll start tomorrow is the most dangerous lie ever whispered into a man's mind. Because tomorrow doesn't come wrapped in guarantees. It shows up already half spent, already invaded by excuses, already under attack by the old version of you that loves wasting time. If you don't kill that version of you today, it will kill every dream you've ever had. And it won't do it loudly, it'll do it quietly, one missed opportunity at a time. The harsh reality is this: the future belongs to the men who can master a single hour. Not the month, not the year, just the hour in front of them. 1 hour of pure focus can outmatch a week of unfocused noise. But most men don't understand that. They think productivity is some grand event. No, it's war waged minute by minute. It's looking your old self in the eye and saying, not today. Today I win. That's the difference between kings and clowns. One sees time and bows, the other sees time and bends it. And you gotta ask yourself right now, which one are you becoming? Because time doesn't wait for your excuses. It doesn't stop to let you catch up, it keeps moving. And every day you don't move with it, it leaves you further behind until you can't even see the life you were supposed to have. But here's the part no one tells you: it's never too late to become dangerous. Time can be turned into a weapon the second you decide to respect it. You can wake up tomorrow and start winning hours, stack them, guard them, protect them like treasure, because time is the most expensive currency you'll ever touch, and the way you spend it determines who you become. You can't fake urgency. You can't fake discipline. Either you control time or time controls you. There's no middle ground. That's why men who win don't just plan their days, they dominate them. They move with aggression, with clarity, with purpose. Every task has a reason. Every hour has a mission, because they understand the ultimate truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your time usage. You want to change your life? Don't start with goals. Start with your calendar. Look at how you spend your time and you'll see exactly why your life looks the way it does. And if you're honest, you'll see the holes, the leaks, the wasted potential dripping out of your schedule like a slow bleed. That's not failure, it's an opportunity to restructure, to rebuild, to come back harder. Because the real ones don't just recover from wasted time. They come back so efficient, so sharp, so relentless that the world has no choice but to respect them. You can be that man. The man who everyone watches and says, how the hell did he do it? And the answer will be simple. You stopped giving time away. No one is coming to tell you to focus. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you success. That's the cruel beauty of time. It doesn't care, but it rewards the obsessed, the committed, the precise. That means if you treat every hour like life or death, life will reward you like a god. That's how you win. Not by wishing, not by manifesting, but by managing every moment with fire in your veins and clarity in your mind. The day you treat time like it's sacred is the day your results become inevitable. Because greatness isn't built in big moments. It's carved into the minutes no one else sees. It's the unseen hours that create the life everyone else envies. So wake up earlier, cut the noise, lock in, stop glorifying busyness and start worshiping precision. Stop talking about potential and start proving it through action. Because while others waste time trying to feel ready, You're out there using time to become unstoppable. That's what separates men from machines. That's what makes legends. The ability to take the same 24 hours and build an empire while others build excuses. Time is your test, and you better start passing it. You've heard enough. You've consumed all the knowledge, all the videos, all the speeches. You're not lacking motivation. You're overflowing with it. But the difference between the man who transforms and the man who stays broken is what he does next. It's not about feeling something in this moment. It's about what you do when the feeling fades. And that's where most of you fail. You chase a high instead of building habits. You seek fire without forging discipline. But I'm telling you now, you don't need another hit of motivation. You need to wage war against your wasted time. You need to walk into every day like it's a battlefield. And your mission is to kill every distraction before it kills you. If you walk away from the speech and do nothing, then you've already lost. Not because life is unfair, but because you had the chance to take command and you chose to coast. That's what destroys men. Not the pain, not the struggle, but the decision to wait. And I promise you, the man who waits is already finished, because time is not kind to cowards. It doesn't give you space to figure things out. It rewards the ones who move while the rest are still thinking. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already have. That's the truth. That's the raw, uncut answer you've been avoiding. You want to become something? Then you need to stop negotiating with weakness. You need to stop making room in your day for mediocrity. Every hour should either build your future or it's burning it down. There's no gray area, no neutral ground. Every wasted minute is a step backwards. Every lazy scroll, every mindless video, every unnecessary nap, it's all a sacrifice of your potential. And you're the one making the trade. Nobody's stealing your time. You're handing it over. Smiling, nodding, distracted, and it's killing everything you could be. The version of you that's strong, disciplined, respected, that version isn't born by accident. It's forged in the fire of unforgiving time mastery. You've got to be militant with your hours, ruthless with your priorities, obsessed with your schedule. You need to sit down with yourself, look at your life, and ask, where am I losing the war? Because every goal you've missed, every dream you've delayed, every promise you've broken, it all comes down to how you use time. You can lie to others, you can fake results, but your calendar never lies. It reflects your values, your effort, your discipline. If your time is disorganized, your life will be disrespected. You want to be respected? Then respect your time. It's the first sign of a real man, how he manages his minutes when no one's watching, how he treats the morning, how he responds to fatigue, how he shows up when it's uncomfortable, when it's boring, when it's hard. That's what defines winners, not talent, not luck, but time, discipline, the quiet killer of weakness. If your day isn't built like a machine, your life won't be built like a kingdom. Stop winging it. Stop drifting. Stop hoping something will click. Make it click. Design your hours with military precision. Know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and do it like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to stop wasting this night. You just need to reclaim 1 hour, then another. Stack the wins, build the fire. It's a process of domination, not desperation. You're not chasing success anymore. You're becoming it. One disciplined block of time at a time. The harsh reality is this: no one is coming to save you from your own laziness, but you don't need saving, you need awakening. You need to step into a version of yourself that doesn't compromise, doesn't delay, doesn't make excuses, because this world bows to the man who controls his time, not the man who's talented, not the man who's lucky, the man who gets up before the sun and doesn't waste a breath, the man who doesn't skip the gym, who doesn't scroll for hours, who doesn't miss appointments with his future. That's the man who wins. That's the man who terrifies his enemies without saying a word, because they know he doesn't waste time and he doesn't waste chances. And you have a choice right now. Either you become that man or you stay average. You either build the life or stay begging for motivation. You either master time or die a slave to distraction. This isn't a speech, it's a mirror, and it's time to face it. Everything you want is on the other side of your laziness, your disorganization, your excuses. And no one's going to clean it up for you. You've got to rise. You've got to decide today that time doesn't own you. You own it. You dominate it, you bend it, you weaponize it, and you use it to build a life so powerful, so precise, so unstoppable that the world can't ignore you even if it tried. You want to win? Then stop watching the clock and become the reason it moves. Time management isn't a skill, it's a weapon. Pick it up, aim it at your future, and pull the trigger.